So the example one is about basically transforming parent functions just like we did in section 1.3. Excuse me. When I say compare the graph, we can look at a graph of x to the fifth, and then we can see what changes when we put a negative in front of that. So let's try to do that. Clear. Right, let me put in x to the fifth on one line, x hat 5, and then on the next line, which I will make a fat line so I know what's different, I'll put in negative x to the fifth, and then I'll graph. Right. So what does it do to the graph to stick a negative in front? It flips it across the x-axis, right? So that is in the terms of this book, right, they say that is a reflect in the x-axis. Right. Okay, x to the fourth, if you look at that, it's the parent function. Then let's compare that with this. What do you think will happen when we add 1 after the function? Tiffany? Goes up 1, right? That's what always happens when you add after the function. It makes every value of the function 1 more than it was before, so it scoots it up 1. So again, we could look at that by doing y equals, let's do x to the fourth. And then I'll go down here and I'll do delete fourth, and then I go out plus 1. So there's the x to the fourth, and there's the plus 1. Let's look at that. There's the x to the fourth, there's the plus 1. It just moves it up 1. Okay. Do we see, looking at that graph, can you see the 3 different turns in the graph? You can, right? It looks mostly like a parabola, and it is. It's mostly like a parabola. It's just kind of flattened out in the middle right here because it's x to the fourth and not x squared. But it doesn't have to have 3 turns in the graph, but it can't have any more than that. We know that. Okay, so that's that one. So we would say this is up 1. Okay, what do we expect is going on in this function? Right, x to the third was actually one of the common functions. What happens because of this plus 1 inside the function? Left 1. Right, so that should be left 1. So let's look at it in the calculator just to be sure. So y equals 3 parentheses x plus 1 parentheses hat 3. So there's the original, and there's when we add 1 inside the function, left 1. Okay. I mean, when we look at the objectives for the lesson, this was part of it. It's really pretty much all review of what we did before. We've done several times before. Why is that not going? So what is going on? What's that? On the what?